Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes. It's a total mouthful right there. I got this request from Mick Lee 1018, so thank you Mick Lee for the recommendation for this video. Just kind of answering the question of what are they, how do I get them? Maybe you're new to this hobby, you haven't heard about them. We're going to talk about that today. Maybe you've already been in the hobby a while and you know what you're doing and you're like, I don't need to watch this. I encourage you to stick around. You might find out some information that you didn't know. We're going to dive right into it, so stay tuned. All right, getting on into it. So I think it's easiest if we take a little history lesson and go back and talk about it first with the Sword and Shield era. Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. It's kind of a mouthful to say Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer box over and over and over. So I'm just going to refer to them as PC ETBs. PC for Pokemon Center, ETB for Elite Trainer box. It'll make it a little bit easier to talk about. So if we go back to the Sword and Shield era, Chilling Reign was the first set that we had these released, these exclusive Elite Trainer boxes. And they continued for the rest of the Sword and Shield era. However, that means that if you want to collect one for every set in the Sword and Shield era, you unfortunately can't because they don't exist for the early Sword and Shield sets. The front of the box will be marked with Pokemon Center on it, so you can tell the difference between it and a normal Elite Trainer box. They come with 2 more packs than normal. So a lot of Sword and Shield Elite Trainer boxes came with 8 packs. That means the PC ETB comes with 10. A couple of the sets like Crown Zenith and Pokemon Go came with 10 packs normally, so these come with 12. You can only buy these exclusive ETBs from the Pokemon Center website. All other places that you buy them are going to be in the aftermarket. So places like TCG Player and eBay, you're going to find them really. Those are people that already bought them from the Pokemon Center website and are just reselling them to you. So you are going to pay a markup on that. They don't normally go through the normal distribution chains, so you're not going to see them in local game stores unless they bought them off the Pokemon Center website and are selling them now to you. You're not going to see them in big box stores like Walmart or Target or Best Buy or Sam's Club or Costco or any of those places. You're going to have to order them online. Sometimes there's 2 artwork variants that you can kind of keep track of. So like back with Chilling Reign, there was a Shadow Rider Calyrex version and an Ice Rider Calyrex version. And then probably a more popular set, you look at Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies had one that had Vaporeon, Espeon, Glaceon, and Sylveon on it. And then the other one had Flareon, Jolteon, Umbreon, and Leafeon on it. So if you are collecting those, just something to take note of is that some of the sets have 2 artwork variants that you have to look into. Now, everything changed big time when we fast forward to the Scarlet and Violet era, which is the era that we're in right now. Normal ETBs in Scarlet and Violet started getting 9 packs instead of 8. And we started getting an exclusive promo card, a promo card that's exclusive only to Elite Trainer boxes or ETBs. Now the Pokemon Center one, once again, adds 2 more packs. So now you're getting 11 packs, but it also adds an additional stamped promo. So you end up getting 2 promo cards in the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box, and one of them has an exclusive Pokemon Center stamp on the card. Now, it's the inclusion of this stamped promo card that has caused these products to be increasingly desirable among collectors in the Scarlet and Violet era especially. The past few months, we've really seen PC ETBs just skyrocket in value, even the ones that only released like a year ago or less. You can see PC ETBs going for as much as 4 times or more the price of a normal ETB. A great example is the Obsidian Flames one, where it's selling for over 4 times the price of a normal ETB. And it's just because there's less of these printed. They only came from one place, the Pokemon Center. And once the Pokemon Center sells out, the only place you can buy them then is the aftermarket. It's important to note the Sword and Shield era did not have those promo cards, right? The only Sword and Shield ETB that had a promo card was Celebrations, and it didn't have an exclusive stamped promo for the Pokemon Center version. So you're still really just stuck with the same promo as the normal version. Because of this, the premium that you pay on a Sword and Shield era PC ETB is not as much as you'll pay for a Scarlet and Violet. For instance, a Chilling Reign normal ETB The Shadow Rider Calyrex artwork variant is about $60 right now on TCG Player, whereas the PC version is $96. So you're looking at about a 60% premium on that. Brilliant Stars, you're going to pay like $46-ish for the normal ETB, and then you're going to pay about $70 for the PC ETB, so only like a 52% premium. Obviously, they still are worth more, but you also had to pay more for them to begin with because the MSRP on Pokemon Center's website is $59.99. Well, at least with Scarlet and Violet. I'm not actually sure what they were charging for Sword and Shield. I think it was a little bit cheaper. So this begs the question, how do I buy these? Well, as I mentioned, they're only sold at MSRP on Pokemon Center's website. And once they're sold out, the only place you'll be able to get them is in the aftermarket, whether it be TCG Player, eBay. You might be able to find it locally if somebody happened to buy them from Pokemon Center, but you're probably not going to find them locally. You're going to probably have to find them from like an auction site. Keep in mind, when you buy them aftermarket, you are going to pay more than MSRP. So you're going to pay more than the $60 that you can get them at the Pokemon Center website. Right now, the Pokemon market is really crazy. And when the market's crazy like this, your best option is to pre-order the PC ETBs ahead of time once they drop on their website. I was able to get Surging Sparks ETBs, PC ETBs before release. And then once, up close to release, basically they sold out. And then typically they're going to put another stock of PC ETBs up the morning of the release of the set. So make sure you pay attention to the release of that set date, and you can sometimes jump on Pokemon Center's website and snag some. Keep in mind, Prismatic Evolutions, which is coming out in January, is such a popular and hyped up set. The pre-orders for the PC ETBs sold out within an hour. It was 1 hour, maybe 2 hours, but it was very fast. It was the morning that the pre-order went up. It sold out really quickly. We will probably see them drop more of those PC ETBs for Prismatic on the release date when Prismatic comes out. So keep an eye on Pokemon Center's website that morning, and you may be able to snag some for yourself. Keep in mind, you're going to have to be very fast because you're also going to be racing against bots. So maybe even if you know how to do that, maybe you get your own bot too, which might not be a bad idea. I highly recommend following some sort of account that tracks like drops and releases and prices. One of my favorites is Pokemon Deals and News on Twitter, or X as it's now called. And they'll send notifications when all kinds of stuff goes in stock or things like these PC ETBs drop on Pokemon Center's website. And then you really got to be quick. You got to jump right on there. Make sure you have all your payment info at Pokemon Center on their website entered and ready to go so that you can check out as quickly as possible. Usually PayPal ends up being a little faster way to check out, but not always. So your mileage may vary. Keep in mind too, when you're ordering, if you order 4, they will send you usually, it's always been the case for me, they will send you a sealed case of ETBs. Because the PC ETBs come in a case of 4, whereas normal ETBs a case is 10. However, they do not double box it, so the box will come in whatever shape it's from the shipper, and a lot of times they'll slap that shipping label over the PC ETB case label, and so you'll have to be very careful when you peel that off that you don't fully remove all the ink and you can still read the case. This is useful to have the case because there might be a little bit of a case premium in the future if you go to sell it, if you sell it as a case versus just a single ETB. But you don't know for sure. Now, who should buy these? Should you buy these? Like, is this something that you should be interested in? I think the first thing is, if you're an investor, I think these are a great investment. So far in Scarlet and Violet, they've been beating booster box gains. Time will tell if this holds true, if this stays, the same over time. But right now, PC ETBs are increasing in value faster than the booster boxes in Scarlet and Violet era. So pretty interesting. Could be a very good investment. I have a few cases. I don't go too crazy in them, but I do have some for myself for investing purposes. The downside for investors, though, is that they are bigger and bulkier. So One thing I love about booster boxes is that they are the smallest, most compressed form to get packs. Right? Like it's 36 packs with just enough packaging to cover the 36 packs, but there's no extra waste. And so you end up having a lot of space conservation. And so you can store cases of booster boxes that you bought, 100. If you buy a booster box case for say $600, which is $100 per booster box because a case holds 6, that's $600. And then if you wait till it doubles, that becomes $1,200. If you wait till it triples, that becomes $1,800. Like you can store a lot of value in a small space over time. Now again, you're gonna have to wait. You may have to wait years, right, for that to appreciate before it's time to sell. That's the whole point of Pokemon, sealed investing, is it takes time and you got to be patient. But I would rather store those booster boxes and have more money in a smaller space, if that makes sense. The PCETBs take up more space and are worth less. And so it is a con, which is why I wouldn't maybe go too crazy into them. It's also just harder to get a lot of them because especially right now, like with Prismatic, like they're very hard to get. Now for sealed collectors, which this is maybe the biggest reason to get these, is if you already like collecting ETBs, this is a more exclusive, harder to get ETB. It's going to hold its value better long term. It's got a little different artwork too, so maybe you want one of the normal ETB and one of this, or maybe you just go for this one altogether. But I think this could be a really great thing for people who just like collecting sealed product, displaying it on a shelf. I think PCETBs are awesome for that. Another category of people that are going to be very interested in this is graders. So those promo cards, like I said, are a huge part of why these things are so valuable and why people want them. So you can take a gamble and buy some of these PCETBs, open them, and then see if the stamped promo card is gradable. Now, you don't know if it's going to be, right? It's very possible that the print runs poor. There could be print lines, there could be scuffs from the factory, there could be white on the corners, it could be off center. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. You can open all those cards and none of them could be gradable. If they are gradable and you can get PSA 10s in them, you can get huge multiples on the card and you can make some good money doing that. So it's a really nice play if you like grading cards, if you're willing to accept the fact that they may not be gradable. Because it's possible you open those up and none are gradable. If they do grade well and you do make that profit, keep in mind you also still have the 11 packs. You can either rip them for fun or sell the 11 packs as well. Okay, so to finish things off, I do want to give a few tips. If you just care about the promo card and you really don't care about the extra packs or anything else that's in the ETB, you can just purchase the promo card on like a third-party website like eBay or TCG Player. Usually the best time to do that is going to be shortly after the set comes out. People have gotten their PCETBs in hand, they've ripped them open, they pulled those promo cards, maybe the graders have found out this one's not gradable, and so they go and they list them up for sale. Sometimes you get them for a pretty good discount and save yourself some money. Like I think the Noctowl promo, I think I paid somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 30 to get the Noctowl PCETB promo. Now you can look at that and you can say, well, you should have just bought the normal PCETB and you would have got the 11 packs. However, I had the advantage that I got to see the Noctowl promo before I bought it from the eBay seller. So as a grader, it was actually a pro, and that person probably didn't care about the promo. They probably just wanted the packs, whatever it may be. So keep that in mind. If you just care about the promo card, you can buy it aftermarket from someone, and sometimes you're going to save some money on that PCETB. If you do care about ripping packs though, probably better to get it from Pokemon Center because you're going to get 11 packs and the promo. Now, keep in mind too, if the promo is not very desirable, the PCETB may not do very well. It will still hold a premium over a normal ETB, but it may not increase in value very well. The best example of this is Twilight Masquerade. So Twilight Masquerade is a very desirable Scarlet and Violet set. Surprisingly, like a lot of people didn't think it would be a very desirable set, but that Greninja card is heavily chased and a ton of people have gone after this set to the point where 9 months later, a booster box of Twilight Masquerade is $158, right? So the booster box price has gone up a lot. What is that? About 58%, something like that, right? If you bought it at 100 when it released. Now the PCETB on the other hand hasn't gone up much, and that's because the Teal Mask Ogerpon promo card just doesn't seem to be very popular to people. Not a very desirable promo card. So keep that in mind when you're buying these. Like, if you buy into a set that has a poor promo card, it may not do as well. Now, from an investment standpoint, keep in mind that while the short-term gains on these have been better than booster boxes, I'm not sure that that will hold true for the long term. And a big reason could be the fact that there's only 11 packs and then the promo cards in this that are desirable, right? A booster box, on the other hand, has 36 packs. So as that set ages and the value of those packs rise, you have a lot more in the box that can rise. So it's, you know, I heard this from Nostalgianomics. He made this point, and I love this point, so I don't take credit for it. I'm just repeating it, but I think it's a great point. I think there's a very big possibility that the PCETBs, although they've risen a lot to begin with, they'll hit a certain price point, and we don't know what that'll be, where they kind of just plateau out and they're not really increasing very well, because at that point people just start to say, I'd rather just get a booster box. I'd just rather have the 36 packs. You know what I mean? Or I'd rather just buy the promo card by itself rather than get the PCETB. So it's still possible that as an investment, these may not do as well as booster boxes for the long term. I still prefer booster boxes, but I have diversified a little bit into some of these. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I gave you a fire hose of information there. Maybe it was information that you already knew, but I'm hoping for that maybe the newer people in the hobby especially, that this was useful, that you now know what's going on. You can decide if these are worth buying in your circumstances or not, or if you just want to pass on them and maybe just buy booster boxes instead, or buy some other product. Anyway, if you liked the video, please give me a like. I'd love it if you guys would subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 by the end of the year. I'm cutting it really close, but maybe with your help, I can get there. And check out my other videos. I've got all kinds of videos on a variety of topics, whether you're new or old in the hobby. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.